But what's also creeping in now is that anxiety. The reason for that is because these polls are not really moving. Despite multiple battleground blitzes, despite the opportunities she has had across media outlets, there is still not a lot of movement from voters who are moving more towards her versus former President Donald Trump. In fact, I had one source describe it to me this way, quote, "People are nervous. They know the polls are tight. And a lot of us are having these flashbacks to 2016, too. We know when it can go the wrong way, and it can still feel fresh."
Trump gains voter trust over Kamala Harris on key economic issues. You know, there's an old saying, actually. It's a Jay-Z lyric that says, "Men lie, women lie, numbers don't." I came across a stat the other day that made me think of this. 54% of adults get their news from social media. Think about that for a second. More than half of people out there are getting information, opinions, and perspectives from platforms where anyone can post anything. And amidst all that noise, one thing does remain true. Numbers don't lie. So I like to report about the numbers. I personally did a lot of statistics for many years. It's the only reason why I think differently of 2020's election, and we have to worry about beyond. Thank you for tuning in to #GoRight with Peter Boykin. Now, if we take that principle to the latest poll on who voters trust with the economy, the results are clear. Donald Trump is beating Kamala Harris on every single major economic issue. And as we move closer to another pivotal presidential election, one thing remains consistent. Voters are concerned about their wallets. And if these numbers hold, it's going to be a big advantage for Donald Trump come election day. Now let's break down the news. We'll be right back. I think it's time for us to go right. Welcome back to #GoRight with Peter Boykin, where we break it down for you. Let's get into it. Trust in Trump over Harris on economic metrics. A recent poll shows that on every single significant economic issue, Donald Trump leads Vice President Kamala Harris, solidifying his advantage on key concerns of the American voter. Voters trust Trump more than Harris when it comes to improving America's finances. Trump leads by +9 points. Overseeing the economy, Trump holds another +9-point average. Handling the job market, Trump is trusted by +7 points. Improving the cost of living, Trump ahead by 6 points. Managing the stock market, Trump dominates with a 15-point lead. Now, with the economy consistently ranking as voters' top concerns, these numbers carry real weight, and it's clear that voters haven't forgotten Trump's pre-pandemic economic performance, and they're looking at him as a safer bet to handle the nation's financial future. If there's one thing we know about our elections, it's that we're about who the people can feel can fix their problems. And right now, the data says they believe Donald Trump is the one to fix their wallets. We'll be right back.
Kamala Harris, am heartbroken by the hurricane. It breaks my heart. My heart is heartbroken. So to help the victims of the hurricane, I'll be sending another $600 million to Ukraine. That way, you can feel safe knowing you're making a difference to people in need.
Oh, tell them about our immigration policy.
What's that?
Tell them about our immigration policy.
Oh, I get it. So since we've been helping the victims of the hurricane by sending money to illegal immigrants so they have the help they need, we encourage everyone from North Carolina to go to Mexico and come back as an illegal immigrant. That way, we can help you help yourself. Hang on, I'm getting a call. Hello?
Hi, this is Iran. We heard you're trying to help the hurricane victims.
Yes, I am.
Well, We think that you can help them by sending money to us.
Oh, that's a great idea. I sure do love helping those hurricane victims. Let me just ask you, are you in need?
Yes.
Okay, great. Then I hereby send you $1.2 billion in aid in order to help the victims of the hurricane.
Oh, fantastic. Trust me, this will go a long way for the stranded people in North Carolina.
I sure do love helping victims of the hurricane who just so happen to be victims of a hurricane.
Hi, folks. Thanks for tuning back in. Hashtag Go Right. Now, I'm just going to give you a little disclaimer about what we're going to talk about. I know a lot of people have been spreading the information, and they say that it's misinformation because people will freak out when out of the blue, people will talk about, I think they have done things to create the storms, to make them worse, to direct them toward, into places. And then, people going like that just sounds far-fetched. It's just out of the world, out of place. And I'm not one to sit there and say that's something that they can do or not do. There's evidence to the contrary. There's evidence that they could be. Who knows? As an individual, when we don't know all the information, throughout history, throughout mankind, we have been pushing away things that we say are impossible because we didn't know. And some people know better. But there's one thing that comes to mind. There's a website. Someone sent me the link. A government website that just celebrated the 70th anniversary of the first hurricane seeding experiment. And so we're going to talk about that in a sensible way. So let's shift gears to something you probably won't hear on your first social media feed. This year marks the 70th anniversary of the first ever attempt to modify a hurricane, an experiment known as Project Cirrus, CIRRUS. Back in 1947, a group of scientists working with the Air Force tried something bold. They flew a B-17 aircraft into a hurricane and dumped dry ice into it, hoping to see if they could weaken the storm. The experiment was ambitious, but had unforeseen consequences. After seeding the storm, what was then known as Hurricane King made a sharp turn and struck Savannah, Georgia, causing $2 million in damages and even a death. The public, outraged by what they saw as reckless experimentation, blamed the scientists. Lawsuits were threatened, and it caused a stir in the media. Sounds familiar, what people have been kind of saying about redirecting hurricanes. GE Labs' Dr. Irving Langmuir, who led the project, claimed he was 99% sure that the storm's turn was due to the seeding, a bold statement that didn't help GE's case. However, later research showed that hurricanes can change course naturally, and this could have been one of those cases. You never know, though. The whole situation cooled the public's enthusiasm for weather modification, but the dream didn't die there. In the years that followed, projects like Storm Fury picked up the torch, experimenting with ways to weaken hurricanes using silver iodide. They had some modest success, but in the end, nature proved too unpredictable. Now, this story is a reminder of how in our pursuit of control over the natural world, we sometimes underestimate the sheer power of nature. This story is a reminder of how in our pursuit of control over the natural world, we sometimes underestimate the sheer power of nature. It's also a story of scientific curiosity, human ambition, and the inherent risks involved in pushing boundaries. It's easy to forget that we live in a world where natural disasters are part of the landscape. And the best way to minimize hurricane damage isn't trying to change the storm, but learning how to live alongside it. Proper building codes, smart hurricane prep, and public education are the tools we need to stay resilient. If you want to read about this, and if you think I'm lying about it, and you think I'm just making it up, you can go to gorightnews.com, look for the article, and I have the source, which is on the website aoml.noaa.gov. It's the hurricane blog about the 70th anniversary of the first hurricane seeding experiment. We'll be right back.
I have learned the lesson of all that's foul and fair. Our love was forged in fire, water, earth, and air. The spell is cast, how long it lasts, I cannot divine. The road is there, and so I dare to risk this heart of mine. Down, 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 down the road, down the witch's road. Down, down, down the road, down the witch's road. Down, down, down the road, down the witch's road. Follow me, my friend, to glory at the end, the end. I have known the power of midnights in the woods. I've danced inside the circle of all that's bad and good. The danger's great, the trials wait for those that seek the prize. Tame your fears, a door appears to love that never dies. As we go down, down the road, down the witch's road, down the witch's road, down the road, down the witch's road. Blood and tears and bone, together and alone. If I can reach you, let my song teach you all you need to keep our love alive. If I can't hold you, remember what I told you. It's the only way we survive. We survive. Wild and wicked, winding out of time. Still we face our fortune, chasing the sublime. What's lost is found, what's fierce is bound. We're broken and we're burned, but take a breath and dance with death. My love cannot return. As we go down, down the road, down the witch's road, down the witch's road. Down, down, down the road, down the witch's road. Down, 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 wherever it may be. I'll see you at the end. I'll see you at the end. I'll see you at the end, the end. I'll see you at the end.
Welcome back to the hashtag Go Right recap. So there you have it. Two key stories shaping our constitutional republic. On the political front, Trump is earning voters' trust when it comes to the economy. And as we edge closer to the next election, his numbers are holding strong against Kamala Harris, particularly on improving the cost of living and managing the job market. And then there's the science of controlling nature itself 70 years ago. Scientists embarked on a bold quest to tame hurricanes with dry ice. Though their efforts were met with mixed results, it's a reminder of just how powerful nature can be and how we as a society need to be prepared for whatever it throws our way. For more on these stories and other updates, head to gorightnews.com. We're also on Rumble, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, X, aka Twitter, you name it. Hashtag Go Right with Peter Boykin is there. And if you'd like to help support the cause, you can donate via Cash App at $Peter Boykin, the number 1. Links are available on gorightnews.com and peterboykin.com. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and remember, it's your republic if you can keep it. God bless. Peace.
Best I can do is